everyone, I'm back today with a Hello Kitty themed layout. Usually when I think of Hello Kitty, I think of the bright primary colors, like the bright pinks and blues, but I decided I wanted to try a different color palette. So I used my Cricut Imagine Elise cartridge, and it has these soft kind of peachy pinks and the olive greens and the light oranges, and I really like the way it came together. It's kind of like a muted tone. So I have this piece of background paper. All of the papers are from the Elise cartridge, and this one is cut down 11¼ of an inch by 11¼ of an inch, and I have two border pieces. These were cut from the Home Accents cartridge, and they were cut at 2 inches each, and they measure just about 11¼ of an inch. I think there might be a little bit of overhang. So I'm going to use my zip dry glue, and I'm going to adhere one to the bottom and one to the top of the layout. It actually fits on there just right. Next I have this piece of the cream paper, also printed from the cartridge, and this is cut down 11½ by 11½ inches. So I'm going to adhere this one right in the center. You can use a piece of plain white paper for this if you want, but I had so much cream in my other patterns that I wanted to keep that sort of distressed look to it. Just going to adhere that in the center. I'm having a difficult time getting this straight. And now I'm going to adhere this whole thing to a piece of 12 by 12 craft cardstock. And all of my edges have been inked with dark brown ink. So I'm going to have a 4" by 6" photo. I have this green mat that is 4¼ by 6¼ and a craft cardstock mat, and this one is 4½ by 6½. So I'm just going to put these together. also have this large shape. This was cut from the Once Upon a Princess cartridge at 6.6 inches. And I'm going to adhere it right in the middle, and it's going to act as a frame for my photo. And this is something that I've been doing a lot. Instead of just matting the photo, I'm actually putting like some sort of frame or shape behind it, and it seems to draw more attention to the photo. Because when you have a lot going on your layouts, and I usually have a lot of die cuts and stuff on my layouts, sometimes the picture can seem to kind of fade into the background. So I've been doing this, and it makes it pop a little bit more, and your photos should definitely be, you know, the focal point of your layouts. So I've been enjoying the look of it. So I'm going to put my photo mat right in the center. I think that's in the center, but the shape is a little bit wonky, like the points here don't match up and stuff, so it's a little hard to tell. But I think that's going to work. So next I have some cloud shapes, and I actually want some of these to go under my cuts, so I need to get them on quickly before they dry all the way, because the zip dry glue doesn't dry super fast. But I should have put these on before, but I forgot about them. So these clouds are cut from the Serenade cartridge. This one was cut at 2.4 inches. And I didn't cut out like the really swirly clouds, I cut the shadow shape behind it. So they're a little bit chunkier, but they still have you know, a nice shape to them. This one was cut at 2.2 inches. Just going to slide it under my border. You can put them outside of the border piece if you want, like on top of it, but once I get all my die cuts on here, you're not going to see that much of the border. So I want it to be able to show at least a little bit. And you'll see what I mean once I get everything else on here. So both of these clouds were cut at 2 inches. And this one's going to go right above our photo frame. And this one is going to go off on the edge a little bit. And I'm actually going to lift up the corner of my photo mat and kind of tuck it under. So next I have my Hello Kitty. This is cut off of the Hello Kitty font cartridge at 3.4 inches. And originally I had cut the background shape out of the black, which is the traditional Hello Kitty look, but it just didn't look right with the muted tones in my layout. And I tried matting all of my papers and stuff on black, and it didn't look right to me. So I put her on the craft cardstock background, which is a very different look, but I like it. I think it works. I took some dark chocolate colored cardstock, and I just cut little sections and put behind her eyeballs so they would be a little bit darker. So yeah. I like it. It's different, but I think it works. So I have her popped up on foam, and I'm just going to place her right here at the bottom of our layout. And I'm just going to make sure that the foam doesn't cover the photo, because I want to be able to slip a photo in there. And I didn't do any inking on her face or hands, because to me it didn't look right, because the traditional Hello Kitty look is very clean and almost minimalist. So I inked her wings and stuff, but I didn't ink her face or her hands. So I have a title from the Once Upon a Princess cartridge that says Precious, and it has this little butterfly on it. And this was cut at 3 inches. I did a little hands altering on this, because there was just 2 layers. There was the title and then the little layers for the butterfly, so I actually cut the title out twice, and I used this orange tail on the butterfly, and then I adhered the green Precious title on top of it because I wanted to have like a little more color to it. Next I have some butterflies from the same cartridge, and they match the one in the title. This one was cut at 2.5 inches, and this one was cut at 2.2 inches. I have some leaves that I've cut from the Cricut Artiste cartridge. There are 2 different styles. So I have this one that's sort of the jagged leaf. This was cut at 2 1/4 of an inch, and this was cut at 2.5 inches. So I'm going to adhere them flat in the corner. And then I have a whole bunch of flowers that I've cut from the Cricut Sweet Treats cartridge, and I've just cut a bunch. Like I picked 3 different styles, and I did different color combinations, and I just cut a bunch of them out, and I'm going to place them kind of all around my layout. So I'm going to start in this corner, and I have about 5 flowers on here, on this corner alone. And I want to make sure that they all fit onto the corner so they're not hanging over the layout. But I kind of want them bunched together a little bit too. And then once these are glued on and they've dried a little bit, I'll go back and kind of fluff the petals of my flowers to give them more dimension. I just don't like messing with them too much when they're still wet because it just moves them around too much. I have a few more for this corner over here. And then a few more down here. Okay, and then I have, I'm going to put my butterflies down. And these are pretty thick, like once you put all the layers together, so that's why I didn't use too much foam. I don't want that covering my picture too much. And now I have a couple extra little flowers that I'm going to place. So I'm just going to curl the petals a little bit. And see how it kind of pops off the page that way? Or you can wait until they dry and go back and kind of fluff them up a little bit. And so I have one of these same flowers. I cut the orange flower is the one that comes with the Hello Kitty, and then I added this flower on top, so it would match the other flowers and it would have more dimension than the original Hello Kitty cut has. And then one more I'm going to put over here. So there you have it. It's a pretty simple layout, like all the cuts are pretty simple, but when you layer it all together and put all the different patterns and colors together, I think it looks really good and just really detailed. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and if you have any questions, just let me know down below. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.